All right. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Hopefully we good. Hopefully we good, dog. Hopefully we good, doggy. Hopefully we good, doggy. Let me check. I'm gonna check the YouTube now. I'm gonna check the YouTube. I'm gonna check the YouTube now. I'm thinking God I get to do this a second time. Real shit. It's the second time. Real shit. All right, cool. We good. Yeah. All right, let's start it from the top. God damn it. Timeout is Calcito, the spirit coach, getting you a shape and form for the age of Aquarius. Yet again, you're now drinking the wine of Zeus. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, you're now drinking wine of Zeus. And I'm getting you in shape and form for the age of Aquarius. Yet again, yet again, yet again. It's a good day. I woke up good. I woke up feeling good. Trump is free. Shit. America look like it's providing a bunch of opportunities. It look like it's providing a bunch of opportunities. Look, you can come to America and get your healing. You know, they might be on the first level of healing though, like as far as like thinking like some type of power is everything and stuff like that. Some type of over exerted power is freedom or something like I don't know. That's their concept of being spiritual. But you can come to the Americas to get your healing. You feel me? You can start washing up. I'm saying you can start like riding horses, like we America brought a lot. You feel me? You can start conducting society and creating like versions of what the natives did and calling it socialism and stuff like that. You feel me? You could do all that. You can come to America and get your healing and stuff like that. So I kind of woke up feeling happy about that. I also woke up being inspired, because Elon Musk is talking about going to Mars and shit like that. They just had a real conversation about that. So I'm like, yeah, like okay, I have nobody around me thinking like that. So like, I need to start thinking like where I'm about to go or where I want to see my people in that and stuff like that. Like, you feel me? I'm gonna be here longer than him, probably, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? If we just die of natural causes, but he a little older, so he's thinking about that shit. I'm starting to think about shit too and shit. So I'm starting right now to I'm starting the Cito Star Tribe and shit like that, where we let him have Mars and shit, and we just want Jupiter. That's it. So we just want Jupiter. So I need everybody to start thinking about Jupiter. I ain't finna get left behind. I'm not about to get left behind and shit like that. Zeus don't get left behind. But I'm here for my tribe too and shit like that. So if I ain't nobody gonna have no conversation shit, what I'm saying? This is for the people that do listen to me and that do really, want to be on some some serious in the world tactics, and shit like that, because I last time I checked, nobody is a part of this shit in the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like far as I know, like unless you like grandfathered in, and they got a lot of they grandfathers got projects where you can get in, like they call them schools and they call them jobs and stuff. You do a little strange thing for a piece of change. They got like stuff like that. They call them laws and stuff, but it ain't like you got no situation or no property. You feel me? Or none that's gonna help your generations be like this elite race and shit like that. So like I just need the same grace, Elon, and for the most part, shit. Like if you want Mars, I want Jupiter. That's it. I want Jupiter. I start thinking about it. People know I'm smart. Like well, I start to create the rockets. I start to create the science. I start creating. I do the homework. You feel me? And stuff like that. And I just need that same grace y'all did when you was coming in the game. I need that same grace. Like when people thought you ain't gonna do what you want to do and stuff like that. I just need that same grace. So that's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's all. How we got sound? We good? We learn. Yeah. Oh yeah. We still good. Okay. So I'm for that. You know, so this is people who serious about life and then them type of concepts and stuff like that. Because these motherfuckers serious. These motherfuckers is dead serious. Okay? So why would you not want to be a part of, the Ford Move conversation? He's in government now. It's not nothing like you feel? You feel me? Yeah, government now. So we gotta start thinking about space travel too and stuff like that. Because I ain't trying to get into no situation where I showed this before, but you know what I'm saying? I'll bring it up there again where it's like, you know what I'm saying, great exposition, Colombians great exposition. Y'all remember that picture I was putting up here? You know, I'm trying to be in on it. I'm trying to be in on it. You feel me? Man, my way. So this is my bid. This is my bid. So, but on a serious note though, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that was tuning in to the shit. Now, I didn't even tune in. I just came across it. But I did take some time out to listen to, Elon Musk plan, for what he's talking about with space and shit like that and going to space and stuff like that. And so, like, we need to be on the same conversation. So I ain't gonna waste no time here. You know what I'm saying? Let me get into the motherfucking let me share the screen. We're gonna share the screen and then we're gonna get into it. How about it? You know what I'm saying? Let us get Jupiter and stuff. Seek the world. You know what I'm saying? The new associated stars assembling and stuff. You feel me? Working, man. You feel me? Chat, check me out. W chat or what? W chat? W chat. But yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? So from Chicago, I'm from Chicago. I need to get my Chicago. I need to get my Chicago. That's my, Chicago is what the natives call Chicago. So it smells like onions and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like an onion smell. So we got the loudest pack over here. You know what I'm saying? We the loudest. You feel me? That shit stank, baby. Real shit. All right. So let's share this Elon Musk shit. Let's get into this conversation because this is what I need all of the Cito Star Tribe, for y'all to be educated on and stuff. If you're part of my audience, you can't just be you can enjoy the music if you're gonna enjoy the music for that, but that ain't my whole building. You know what I'm saying? I got other things in my building that you can come to and stuff like that. So yeah, but we about to get into this, so I'm about to lay it down. And shit, I want to have my belief too. Shit, niggas can believe they can go to Mars. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can believe me too and shit like that. And I break it down. If y'all don't believe me, y'all can go to hell. Shit, I got imagination too. I ain't about to stress me up. All right. We gonna bring this up real quick. Shit, so y'all can understand what the type of time these niggas is on. And shit, I understand why it's important to start thinking about going to Jupiter and stuff. Because I don't see it no other way. I don't see it no other way. Hold on, let me see. Chat, W chat. W chat. All right. So this is a conversation Elon Musk had last night, and whatever. And yeah, let's get into it, right? So it's with this German politician, or this she looked like a ghost maybe, but these had this them and shit like that. You got to understand this Swedish and the German way they talk too. They talk like us, but they're sarcastic too. So you got to think about like Trump and the way he speak, and Elon and the way they speak. They're speaking in sarcasm. And if you're not elite like them or whatever, like me and my tribe is and shit like that, but I ain't saying like them, but we just like able to be there. You're not gonna understand the dialect that they're saying based upon you just being a sheep and raised up under what they gave you based upon invading the American land and taking over and making y'all stop practicing y'all practice. Because a lot of y'all got Native American blood in y'all, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you probably just gonna be raised up on that template. So they got a template for that. They got a template for their society and shit like that. And it's sarcastic ways that they talk. You know what I'm saying? And you can peep game. They always show themselves, but this is their way of thinking that they're elite or something like that and stuff. But and for the most part, if you they got a viewpoint. Well, if you in our way, then you're gonna get squashed. You know what I'm saying? So this is where they get squash and being giants from over there and shit like that. This is how they think. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all not making y'allself some type of space and carving out y'all space, y'all gonna be left behind. What's that weird ass movie on Netflix and shit like that? With that shit and shit, that shit what they be doing for real and shit like that. That's what they thinking about for real. And all of these other shits and what's the other weird one? You know what I'm saying? All of that shit is cool. But yeah. So, but check this out though. This is what
AFD.
Is going on and shit like that. This live ain't for that. This live is for this live is for people that want to be in the Ceto Star Tribe and shit. Like we talking like Elon Musk level and shit like that. We'll talk music for other lives and shit. Real shit. We'll talk.
Welcome to the conversation with Alice Beetle, who is a couple
Alex Weezo, Elon Musty. Oh, go back. Okay, it's not treating me right. Let me go back. Just give me a man. Just give me a man. Yeah, just give me a man. We're gonna get it back up and stuff. But yeah, you got to know that sarcasm that they speak in and stuff like that if you want to be on their level. And so, like I said, if you're not in their way, they're gonna get squashed. That's y'all know the white man tactic at this point. Y'all should know the white man tactic. If you in their way, they gonna get squashed. So you got to add on to the shit. And if you're not adding on to the shit, which means, well, what I mean by if you're in their way, gonna get squashed, all the colonization and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So they make them richer and make you poorer. Inflation. And if you're not getting what they ways and shit like that, and y'all out here taking their money and doing shit that they ain't convinced that is something of value and shit like that, they can make money off of y'all, but for the most part, they're gonna use y'all and toss y'all to the side type shit. So do you want to be in that predicament, or do you want to be in a predicament where you're part of something that they can have some type of respect for and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? This is what they about and shit like that. So this is them. This is Trump. This is all the nations and oh yeah, look at what we did to this land, America and shit. So this was in 1893. It's the exposition of Chicago and shit like that, where once they got rid of all the natives and shit like that, and there was only a couple left, in this history right here, they wanted to make sure that motherfuckers was coming when they was coming over here. They was presenting Native American as a extinct people and as the people as the past. And some natives wanted to participate because because what was happening to them was so bad. This was the way that they was making their money and shit like that. And so this is what the city is built off of type shit. This is what that society, and this is their tactic. They bring everybody else over here, give them opportunities a little bit more because they still demonizing y'all and y'all people as y'all ain't sufficient enough to get into society. Now the question is it racism? Is it racism, right? Because if it is racism, hold on. Because if it is racism, if it is, W chat, like, make sure y'all like this shit. You know what I'm saying? I stamped this just if it is racism. I stamped this right now. And there's been a lot of racism and shit like that and stuff. Like the way, even with this free speech and uh this shit on Twitter and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? That's just a way to introduce racism. It ain't never been free speech for Native Americans and shit like that. Far as like, if in y'all infrastructure, it has never been there and shit like that. So if y'all doing this as a form of that to bring people into their natural state and then marginalize them and do a larger version of this, then I get it. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I mean, like, or a new updated 2004 version of this where we just own the Native Americans is on the land that y'all invaded and stuff like that, and we only got a tent that's set up right here, and y'all look trying to make us feel like we something of the past because we can't be included of what the fuck we want to say we want to go to and shit like that, like Mars and you know what I'm saying, shit like that. We can include or stuff like that, but don't worry, I create the rocket ship. You feel me? I create it. So yeah, don't worry. I do all the science and shit. I just need that same grace, Elon, when I start creating my shit and stuff like that. You remember niggas is doubting you and all the hardship and stuff and hardship maybe. But the stuff you have to go through and people don't not think and stuff. Now you part of government and shit like that. So you know what I'm saying? We want Jupiter. So just fuck with us. Fuck with us. All right. All right. So but yeah, you don't want to get squashed by y'all and shit. By y'all and shit, I don't want to get squashed by y'all. No, I'm straight. I'm straight. Let me see. Because I'm with this right here. I'm with this. I'm with that, Elon. Racism of any kind is unacceptable and shit like that. So yeah, let the Native American get his spot back and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We've been practice that all the time. For real. For real. All that practice has been happening to us for the last couple hundreds of years and shit like that. Man, I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Let us get in on it. Let us get in on it. Let us get on it. Let us get in on it. W chat. All right. So check this. Yeah, this is for all my motherfucking intelligent people that want to join the Ceto Star Tribe and shit like that. And so we're going to understand this conversation between this young Weedle, Alice Weasel, and Elon Musk. So we go we gonna learn that conversation between. We're gonna listen to the you understand the German lady and the I think he's Swedish or something. They from up there where it's cold and stuff, Iceland. You know, that's how they got these types of concepts. So we're gonna listen, and you know, once we listen and debunk this and stuff like that, we'll figure out what to do far as you know, getting this shit together and getting this shit organized, because it's about getting organized and stuff if you want to be a part of the future. Other than that, y'all ass can keep thinking y'all society and still soon, guess what's happening? The great exposition, the great expansion, you know, them steady creating capitalization, and based upon if you're not getting in their curricular and shit like that, Elon Musk wants it based upon classism and how you can uphold their system and why they think they the most intelligence and stuff like that. They're really that intelligent, but we're gonna get into that. But they want to base the system off that. So if you online and stuff like that, and you just saying you the best and you ain't got nothing to present, you ain't got nothing to back or uphold, they look at that as a crime. They look at all y'all that's just calling yourself God. They call that socialism. And you being able, they call that a harsh form that's bringing in all the shit that they brought in, that they was just copying the natives and shit like that and created as a false representation of what we was doing and shit, but their version of it. And then they allowed LGBTQ. They government, everything is under the motherfucking far as y'all shit, everything is under that empire over there and shit like that. So we ain't got nothing to do with that. We ain't got nothing to do with y'all fight against the right fight against socialism and shit like that because we ain't never been socialized in the motherfucking world or y'all ain't keep the treaties with the natives. Y'all ain't keep the treaties as far as the natives teachings and shit like that. It's just so much fucking damage that was done by the time that y'all did. Rest in peace, Jimmy Carter and shit like that. Gave y'all religious freedom if y'all don't even know how to do that and shit like that. So we kind of slowly put it back into play and shit like that, but we just ain't trying to get squashed and stuff like that, stepped on. You feel me? And like that's why y'all live the community, the in our community, y'all only make songs that go viral when it's talking about stepping on niggas and shit like that, stepping on niggas. And stuff. That's their concept. They the giants. They corporate giants and shit like that. If you get what I'm saying. So yeah, let's get into this Elon Musk conversation and shit like that, so y'all can understand what's going on.
And I look forward to this discussion. And perhaps we could start by outlining, if you could outline what AFD's platform is.
She about to get y'all the game.
What are the main things you're aiming for? Where does Germany need change? And just to educate people who have never heard of AFD or AfD, if it could be German. And because a lot of people, especially in America, have never heard of AFD. So
hey, and y'all stop acting like he's so smart. You feel me? Having a job and doing something and upholding some type of system has nothing to do with bringing something smart that could be beneficial to everybody. You know, we got to see that in action. You know what I'm saying? We saw America had the natives had a smartness about when they was taking baths and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we saw that. So it's just like you're not smart just because you know how to do technical things. And that's another thing too. We go, but let's keep
perhaps this would be great.
It's the practice. You know what I'm saying? It's the practice of the situation and not just like, okay, let's say you a police, right? You a police because you uphold a job and shit like that. But and your practice is doing the shit you got to do, all the rituals and the mentality that you got to have on your mind and shit to get that job done. But that's just a creation of the deeper practice. The deeper practice is controlling the land and how it's conducted based upon whatever they got going on here in civilization and shit like that. So the people that are use y'all to uphold like shit like the police force and stuff like that, y'all are working, but y'all funding them to do what they do, which is invade America and control society. You get what I'm saying? It's been happening. It's not that long ago. 1893 is not that long ago. And yeah, that's how it really goes. But it's not that long ago. So this is more them about them separating themselves. So even when you get to hearing him talking about Mars a lot, Mars is a signal for separation and shit like that. You gotta know Jewish literature. You gotta know what was the other one? Jewish literature. And that's just the Bible part. I forgot. I don't want to misquote Broski and shit like that. But yeah, so you got to know how the language was built between the Native and Americans, and that was just about understanding each other and shit like that. And we understood things very differently from them, far all the way down to planets and stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff that they got was to help build the government over here based upon how the Iroquois and you know what I'm saying was running their shit off the infrastructure of the stars and shit like that. So the houses and we built our shit like that for the most part. But so you will hear a lot of these references that they use, but they use it as their practice too. So that's when we get to see them shooting shit out into space, and it ain't shit out there anyway. That's just water out there. That's just a different toxicity of water and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't finna go out there and find nothing. But you know, we gonna talk about it. That's why go look at that moon video. You think that's real? They ain't never been there and shit like that. So these is practices. Just like even if I told y'all even with my cybersecurity video, yeah, you might be the person that's typing in the code, doing this for them to pay y'all to have a mentality, but you got to have a mentality to have the cybersecurity job and shit like that. For them to pay you, you get paid, and you might get paid over me. And I'm doing this shit right here. I'm doing actual real work that's actually waking people up. And for what far as my tribe and shit like that, I don't give a fuck about nobody else. But and shit, waking people up in that aspect at least. But waking people up, and you might be typing in cybersecurity, but the actual people that's getting funded, that y'all making money based upon you giving them time and shit like that to do what you do, that problem that they created for you to have that job is for them to get funded, but for them to actually have people that's doing cybersecurity shit online to stop people on here that's doing shit heinously and out of control and out of whack and uncivilized and shit like that, and be able to, this is how they getting funded. Y'all funded them. So y'all funding them to take over, y'all funding them for everything. So if you're not getting with it, then you get against it. You know what I'm saying? And or you got to add on to it to the point where they're some way convinced that they want to let you a part of it, but you gotta try though. You know what I'm saying? You can't not try. So this is when they get to my Cito Star Tribe and stuff like that, and we walking on the star. Walking on the star, walking on the star. Don't break my heart. Jesuit Intellect. Shout out to Drakeo. Jesuit Intellect, Jewish literature. Yeah. So this is Jesuit Intellect, what we about to get into. And that whole intellect is the story of Jesus and stuff. So a lot of y'all be praising Jesus, but Jesus is a representation of always what died for you to not to do that thing. And what died for you to not to do that thing is a Native American. And shit, because they didn't like the Native American ways. Well, they did, but they was negative and they stole it and try to get rid of them and stuff like that because they didn't like their thinking or whatever about it and stuff. They liked their ways, but they didn't like their thinking about it. And under that Jesuit intellect, you would get a whole concept of you thinking it's an actual God and stuff like that. But that Jesuit intellect really is you praising, you getting your shit took over and you not being able to do you. This is why you feel uncomfortable or unrelatable when you be around whites or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be yourself because you feel they may have a more superior presence. And if they set the environment up to be that, it's likely because why? They got some type of power, some type of giant. And the moment you act up in that shit, you getting poked and getting fired. You know what I'm saying? So this is their power infrastructure. You know, this is why I'm bringing y'all, and I'm showing y'all actual in real time how to see it. So you got to watch what you be giving credence to. You know, you got and how you do it.
Very helpful.
Okay. Thank you very much, Elon, for having me and to give this opportunity to openly speak about
this was yesterday. This was last night.
Different matters. Let me just live. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Perfect. To start with, who we are. The AfD is the alternative for Germany. It is a relatively new party, founded 11 years ago, during the course of the Euro problems.
Euro problems. So what did that mean? Anything that's a problem, it ain't in order to them. So it's all about order.
So unfortunately, I have to start when I shed some light on our party with the quite negative circumstances in Germany.
What's the negative circumstance?
Our country is a great country with highly motivated people, but our country has been governed not in a proper way within.
Don't this sound like America? Ain't this what's been here? Ain't this what America been going through?
The last 20,
Keep that in mind.
25 years. We had,
at least that's what they saying. If you black or something like that, you just in the world, you probably not even tuned in for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You probably like go some other shit.
The Angela Merkel administration for 16 years, and then the so-called traffic light coalition that imploded last year, and now we're heading elections.
Can y'all hear that good when I play that? Do that sound good? Well, he probably Jacob's Revenge. Your friend is probably like not one of the Black Native Americans. That would make sense. You can go look and see people that look like me that look Native American, and this not no game either. Like, nigga, we can ask family members, we can pull up receipts and all of that. So this ain't no game. I don't care what he believes. Shit, I don't believe he is. Real shit. How you feel about that? Which one you gonna take?
In my point of view, Angela Merkel, the first Green Chancellor, she ruined basically our country.
Okay, so it's a female. So a female ruined their country. So this is them saying that the feminine energy is taking over, basically. The feminine energy is taking over. Now, she a feminine too, but she has a more masculine, you know what I'm saying, type of approach and stuff. Wanting to be she want to be a conservative or whatever.
She enforced, without asking the people, she enforced to open.
And I guess she running for Germany.
Our borders for illegal immigration in 2015.
Ain't that what America going through? So who is setting this up all at the same time? This sound like motherfucking. This sound like them. Don't act like we setting this up. I don't goddamn see a Native American flag or a Black people flag. Maybe some Africans in here and shit like that. They be with it. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, not all of them. But I don't see none of this. We ain't set up no goddamn immigration and stuff like that. That's y'all problem.
She wrecked and destroyed our backbone in terms of obnoxious energy policy.
Obnoxious energy policy. So this is them saying that all of y'all that be on that be claiming y'all gods and stuff like that, and be claiming y'all smart and be claiming y'all intelligence and stuff, that shit gotta go.
For the foreign
let them go to Mars. We gonna have Jupiter.
Listeners here in this audience, Germany is the only industrial country that unplugged the nuclear power plant. So the aim of Angela Merkel,
nuclear power plant. So I'm to be sure, right? Because they about to get into this nuclear talk. And I want to show y'all how they be talking, you know, so y'all can know when we on this mission to go to Jupiter, how we can start being sufficient enough to get there and shit like that and all of that. Hold on. So they finna, damn. I might just pull it up on my phone. But let me
Merkel was to enforce just solar and wind energy. And
so that's natural energy, solar energy from the sun. Natural wind energy, that's the with the wind, the spinny things. What is them called? I think they're gonna say
you don't need to be very smart
you don't
to encounter that you cannot run an industrial country with just wind and solar.
Y'all don't got rid of American family. We've been friends for over years, 15 years. How you know I don't got rid? What the heck? Dude, kind of getting retarded. I don't know who do this.
Because you don't have any energy and electricity when the sun doesn't shine and when the wind doesn't blow. And this is a major problem.
Yeah.
So this is a major problem. So she just said that they need nuclear energy because they tired of using natural energy and shit like that. What is that an allegory of? Can y'all guess? So nuclear is just basically another word. This is how you can see what they be talking about. Nuclear is basically another word for you see the words. I ain't even got to say them. Basic, essential, radicals, sometimes. So that's what she's saying. They need that type of power. They need a necessary power and shit like that. So like I said, this is another case of now you see them doing the practice of it. They're saying that they need the actual practice of it, but it's to fund what they finna do behind the scenes. So the practice of it is the nuclear power is what they about to get into, as far as like talking about the actual shit that they need to run a country off of and shit like that. And there's way more ideas and ways you can run this country off of shit like that. So don't tweak and stuff. This you know what I'm saying? You can see right through that.
I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of solar energy, but clearly, if a country is at a very high latitude, then the amount of solar power in the winter is going to be substantially reduced. And of course, there's a significant difference in the day-night cycle of energy usage. So a lot of power can be done with solar.
So that means in the wintertime, they can take a lot of y'all power away.
And
you can look at this like Christmas and shit like that, where they can make y'all get out of jobs and stuff, and that
with the large-scale grid energy batteries. But it must be supplemented with other forms of power because there's not a lot of sunshine in the middle of winter in Germany. So the solution obviously must be.
I mean, in Germany, they saying they don't play y'all shit. They don't play that ego shit that y'all be in.
A multifaceted solution.
They don't play that y'all getting online and thinking y'all popping for real and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't play that. I'm telling you, this is how they think. I'm telling you. You can count on me. You can count on me. I'll be there.
Where there is certainly renewables, but also there does need to be some amount of fossil fuel energy and especially nuclear. I think
fossil fuel, which means this is them. Fossil fuel is them dinosaur shits. So it's the story of the dead Native Americans. Y'all know the Field Museum in Chicago, you know what I'm saying, was built off the basis of which it was built off of, that is now based upon it being on dinosaurs and shit like that. It was built on this. It's built on this. And they was displaying how they killed all the Native Americans and made them seem like they were extinct. So that's what the dinosaur is. Real shit. Let me get in. Hold on. Let me get in, Elon. Wait. Choice.
I think nuclear is very much underrated. I think it was tragic for Germany to shut down the nuclear power plants. In fact, they're very well designed. And I think that the right move is, in fact, to increase the amount of nuclear power substantially in Germany. This would be this would be great. And I think,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Nuclear, obviously, y'all know what that did to China, but they're talking about this as a mind state. Like, this is what they need as some type of mind state. They need whatever, how they finna attack that citizenship, what she was talking about. Because why the fuck they start talking about politics first? Now he talking about some nuclear power. So her saying that they need more nuclear power in Germany is more, they need more control over what they allowed to try to capitalize off of. And that was the freedom aspect that they got from the West with the Native Americans.
That was the reason why I wanted to shed some light on the current situation. So in order to form an opinion what our parties,
if you got some goddamn friends, then go be with them.
Stand for.
Real shit, the Seco Star Trek.
Because this is exactly what you said. We stand for a energy supply diversification. We cannot run a industrial country like Germany with a still strong manufacturing base. To tell you the truth,
they need slaves, y'all. So they need slaves. That's what they said. We need slaves. We can't do it ourselves, so we need y'all for slaves.
Our manufacturing production, it peaked in 2018 and it plummeted since then due to high energy costs. And you cannot run
y'all the high energy costs. So anything, like I'm telling you, bro. Anytime y'all get on here, y'all just high energy and shit like that. Y'all ain't giving y'all energy back to them. Y'all cost too much. Let's get rid of them. Let's put slaves in there. That's all this
country like that. So therefore, we say, look, we need to be technology open, and we need to reinforce again nuclear power plants, because nuclear energy supply is carbon free, right? So yes. Therefore, we would also,
It's nigger free.
Also reduce our carbon footprint, which is
nigger footprint. We don't want them to remember nothing.
It's obnoxiously very, very high. And this is the entire irony about it.
Yeah, so, I know. It's ironic, right? We back at this bitch. Shout out to the Native Americans.
Our governments, like the Angela Merkel government and the so-called ridiculous traffic light coalition, they enforced a green policy upon our country that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And
natural. So y'all just doing y'all natural thing is too close to the nature of the earth. Green policy. Green got something to do with the natures and the earth. I'm telling you, they learned this from Native Americans.
We would like to go.
They learned how to do this from Native Americans, to kind of decode their language and shit like that. But they kind of was good at that. That's probably the only thing. They're all good at lying. Real shit. The natives don't remember no treaties being upheld. Y'all really good at lying. So what we gonna
back to technology openness here?
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, my recommendation, and I've said this publicly before, is that Germany should not merely reopen the nuclear power plants, but substantially increase the power generation.
Now, the Germans over here in modern day society, these are the Elon Musk, the people that's on them the Republicans and shit like that. Everybody else and shit, that's not what that, like the French and shit. Those are more the Democrats probably and shit that run them parties. And that's why you saw Trump with the French man saying y'all weak, shaking his hand, like overly shaking his hand when they did that, like y'all weak type shit, because that's what they were saying.
In the same space, meaning without increasing the size of the nuclear power plant in any meaningful way, without increasing the amount of land area that it uses, you can dramatically increase the power output of a nuclear power station, because the actual core part of the power station is extremely tiny. People don't quite realize just how small the center core of a nuclear power plant is.
So we can run this shit and by ourselves. Like this what you saying, we can run this shit amongst us by ourselves. Like we don't need that many people, but we do need strong people.
It's like amazingly tiny, and so you can actually, in the same land area, no increased land area, dramatically increase the amount of nuclear power that that any given nuclear power station is producing. You need a water source for to run the steam turbines, but
we do need y'all females. We do need y'all. We do need y'all women. Y'all niggas, y'all fathers can go. Real shit, but we do need y'all women.
But really, far more power output is possible than people realize. And I think that the sensible solution is renewables, but with a lot of nuclear, and then to supplement where that there has to be some amount of hydrocarbon power generation to supplement where it just needs to be sensible.
Slaves. It needs some slaves.
Absolutely. But
it can be ran by a bunch of people. I mean, it can be ran by a small group, but we kind of do need some slaves for our shit to be successful.
Do you know what? So just let me do just like one more example, because like wind turbines, wind energy, in comparison to nuclear power supply.
So when she's saying wind turbines, this is basically allowing a government to have the infrastructure of what they call a socialism, so they can communicate and vote and stuff like that. Nuclear, that's about we gonna press the red button on your ass.
It's highly inefficient, also in terms of land use. So
the socialism is inefficient in terms of land use.
For instance, I give one example just to shed some light on it. If you were to replace one nuclear power plant, let's say like Emsland nuclear power plant here in Germany, with an annual electricity production of 10.
They really think they smart by doing this. This is their magic. This is their form of magic.
Billion.
They be actually putting this stuff up, but still be having a mentality that I'm saying that they not talking about.
Kilowatt per hour with modern wind turbines, with a production of just 8 million kilowatt per hour per year, you would need 1,250 wind turbines just to replace this one power plant, and with a rotor diameter of 17 meters.
They're talking about downsizing this stuff right now. Damn, where'd it go? Let me go back. Oh. Yeah, go back. We learning today. We learn. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm a guy, but honestly, go down how much you can steal is
protected and controlled to write German properly. And it's Elon, it's a complete new situation for during the crisis, like during the war. Huh?
And what was that?
Sorry?
No, please go ahead.
Yeah. So during the war of Ukraine. So and this is the entire irony about it. So our governments, like the Angela Merkel government and the so-called ridiculous traffic light coalition, they enforced a green million kilowatt per hour per year. You would need 1,250 wind turbines just to replace this one power plant, and with a rotor diameter of.
So they talking about downsizing right here. So how can whatever number she talking about, it ain't that number for the actual thing. It's some dealing with how much they need to get rid of y'all.
Of 17 meters, and the minimum distance from large wind farms, you end up around with like 100 square kilometers. For example, this corresponds to half of the major city of Stuttgart, right?
Right.
So this entire thing, and just to stress the fact again, you don't need to be very smart just to do your calculations.
Yes.
But our our energy policy.
I mean, that's the
What?
crazy
Sorry?
thing. The crazy thing is like a bunch of these energy questions. You do not need to be like a world leading physicist. It's very basic math. Like,
At least you telling the truth right here. This way you tell the truth. It ain't nothing hard. It ain't nothing hard to be racist.
high school, less than high school level math. I'd say middle school math even. It's
But they saying that y'all not that smart. Basically, y'all not. Yeah, like this is them saying y'all not that smart.
very straightforward. Not complicated.
Yes, absolutely. And then during the crisis, like during the war. Huh? Sorry?
No, please go ahead.
Yeah. So during the war of Ukraine, so our gas supply was just destroyed, and that actually shed some light on our severe dependence on Russian gas. And do you know what the government decided in this crisis?
So when they say Russian, they saying the money they making from being communism and shit like that. And let me see what for communism for y'all. Yeah, communism.
Communism.
Yeah, y'all can see it. Communism is a theory or a system of social organization based on holding of all property in common and actual ownership being ascribed to the community. Oh, so that's like kind of like a version of socialism.
Crisis when the energy prices skyrocketed after we were cut off of cheap energy supply from Russia. They switched off the last nuclear power plant to even more create a shortage of energy.
Yeah.
So either you must be very stupid or you just hate your own country.
So their country, when they say their country, they're talking about their thought. The country, you can't hate a country. What you gonna hate the grass? What you gonna hate? No, you gonna hate the way the people in their mind is running it.
Well,
Isn't it?
I think it's mostly the very stupid category. At least I'd like to think so.
Very stupid.
I mean, there's an old saying that like one should never ascribe to malice that which can easily be explained by incompetence.
Yes, you're perfectly right now. So
yes, I actually, when I saw that Germany was turning off the power plants after being cut off from gas supplies from Russia, I thought this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Just when Germany most needs electricity,
yes.
Germany is shutting down one of
They're
the
saying Russia getting weak on their shit.
best sources of electricity, which is nuclear power.
Yes.
Crazy.
And completely carbon free.
Yeah, crazy.
Completely
It's
nigga
crazy.
free.
So I guess
Y'all think I ain't know? Y'all thought I ain't know what y'all talking about? Y'all thought I ain't know? Okay, let's keep it.
to summarize the two main things that AFD is aiming for in terms of change is a sensible energy policy and sensible immigration policy.
Yes, exactly.
So
Let's mix the right way. Let's mix them and make them sensible. Let's make these immigrants that we coming over to work to build our society to take over. Let's make it sensible.
but actually even more. So we would like if I may continue a little bit, because now it's Elon, it's a complete new situation for me. That I just.
But they did. Don't forget too. With their problem that they're complaining about, they created.
Can have.
Nobody told y'all to go and start leaving y'all land and invading people and stuff. And y'all think y'all bringing people a better life and stuff. No, I mean, y'all conducting business over there, in y'all way, but that don't mean y'all bringing people a better life and shit. You know, like I said, the natives ain't never had no or no free speech and shit like that. We can never, even at the fair, you couldn't be free. You couldn't come. You couldn't be a Native American in the Columbia Exposition of Chicago if you wasn't participating in a way where they was trying to make you look like an outdated people. If you was too civilized as a new Native American, which means like you can talk like them and shit like that, and you know what I'm saying, y'all looking like more civilized than tribes that was uncivilized, then you couldn't participate and stuff. I'll post videos about that later.
A normal conversation, and I'm not.
So this is them building. This is them building that y'all stupid, not y'all actually being stupid or nothing there, but they're building that up like that's something smart.
Adopted or negatively framed, how that has been in the media the case in the last 10 years, which is completely ridiculous. So what we also stand for, since we are a conservative libertarian party, so at least we see ourselves like this, but
conservative views.
We are extremely negatively framed.
Conservative views. You negatively frame. I guess. I mean, y'all picking that, but it's like ain't nobody can create that but the government, but y'all
as
and the monarch.
A so-called extremist party by the mainstream media. So we just say, look,
mainstream media, the exposition. Like I said, we don't have no parts in that. On how that go, on how that look, that's y'all and y'all people create that amongst yourselves. Y'all slaves and stuff like that. You can't even get in and stuff like that unless you don't go through a scholarships and initiations, colleges, and jobs.
We need to reduce bureaucracy. We need to free out
bureaucracy. What is bureaucracy? So bureaucracy is basically government and the laws that protect people, and say so they're about to say that bureaucracy is bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy, nigga, I can see. I don't know how to spell none of these European words. Real shit. All right. Government by many bureaus. So a lot of people got a lot of say in the government and how it play out, and officials and administrators, and petty officials, and all of that. So that's what it is.
Our firms, our companies, the individuals of this obnoxious bureau.
That's the people that's stopping them from practicing they practice that they want to practice.
Credit.
Which is people having common sense. Like this shit don't need to really go that far and stuff. Elon, you should already shooting rockets and stuff like that. You feel me? Like niggas ain't even got no money to even think about doing that. Like, chill out.
Big conditions here. Yeah. Do you know like how long it takes, how many days it takes to get a business permit in Germany? Just guess.
As it turns out, I do, because we built.
The big plan.
We built a gigantic car factory, just near Berlin. So we had many challenges. I mean, this is, to be clear, like we actually had a lot of support, a lot of local support from the local government, from the national government, and despite all that support, just the sheer number of rules that the people in the government are required to follow is completely crazy, and we had to. I think it was 25,000 pages was our permit, and it had to be all printed on paper.
25,000.
Yes, I think maybe more than that in the end. 25,000, and then there has to be many copies made. So it literally was a truck of paper. Because we're like, surely we can make this electronic, Isn't that better for everyone?
No, not possible. You need to have that on paper in Germany.
They just want the government to get out the way so they can do what they want to do.
It has to be paper. I'm like, this is crazy. This is only a few
and preach their conservatism views.
years ago. It's not the distant past. I mean, it's like we're well into the we're a quarter of the way through the 21st century. It's like, guys, let's just 25,000 actual.
We richer than all y'all. We way richer. We got way more money than all y'all. Look, we in the future and shit like that. Let's just put the gas.
Full printed pages, and then I believe every page needed to be stamped with a physical stamp. I mean, honestly, it's going to really tire somebody out to do so much stamping.
Yeah.
They're going to get some sort of repetitive stress injury. Yeah, they're going to get a repetitive stress injury from having to stamp so many people.
Stress injuries.
It's like just send it to the hospital or something. I mean,
white man jokes.
That's too much.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to blame the sort of individuals who are doing this time, because they are just following the rules. So we have to change the rules, and there needs to be, I think, in my view, for all countries, but especially countries that have enjoyed prosperity for a long time. It is extremely important to have what I call sort of garbage collection of rules, which is to re-examine the rules and regulations and make sure that they are clearly a net good. And if there's any doubt about them being a net good, we should eliminate them, because otherwise we get to this point where everything is illegal. And
real shit. Shout out to the Native Americans. That's why it is, because it's still that protection, it's still that spiritual protection and stuff like that, where if they saying like, if y'all think y'all the best and they think they the best or whatever, and y'all can come up with a way to get them out the paint type shit.
It's just absolutely crazy.
So it makes it almost to the point where everything is illegal. How they moving, they kind of skeptical. So they kind of y'all kind of got them.
Absolutely. And it's not only about bureaucracy, it's also about taxes. Germany has the highest taxes.
Yes.
Of all OECD countries. So the normal German employee, he works more than half of a year for the state. You have to imagine that.
Right.
Like with taxes plus Social Security. So more than half of the year you work for this
more than half of the
dysfunctioning.
What the fuck? Nigga, it's people that gotta work 12 jobs to get what the fuck they trying to get and do something productive and stuff. We don't care about no Germans having to work half of the year. We gotta work the whole year and overnight jobs.
In state, because like the state does not provide the vital provisions for the people here. So he doesn't provide for security. So we have like skyrocketing criminal rates here.
Right.
He doesn't care about education. So we have this same insane, wokish, leftish, socialist agenda.
Who woke? Who is woke? Y'all the only ones woke. And I'm gonna say this and ask me, so y'all need to wake y'all ass up. For real. Because they own y'all ass.
Gender in our educational system. So the young people, they don't learn anything in school.
Y'all niggas don't learn nothing in school. Y'all niggas ain't learned nothing in school. It's just y'all used for the economy. Yeah.
School, in university, etc. So they just learn about gender studies.
Are you serious?
And they just, yeah. No, really.
I was under the impression that Germany had a pretty good education system that was quite rigorous with the gymnasium and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, quite racist and shit like that. Real shit where they can elite themselves over y'all.
At least it used to at one point.
But yeah, this is them. So this is what they do. So this is what they do. This is their tactic. They're allowing their ways into y'all, into their shit, making it seem like it's a problem that's going on because we need some smart people. And they admitting right here, they always telling themselves they're not even that smart. But they're trying to say that in a way where it's like, y'all not that smart though. We not even that smart, and we just doing this, and we got all this power, and that don't make nothing. Native Americans, they never care about that.
But it sounds like this has, I don't know, the woke mind virus has infected Germany quite badly.
Huh? They really got the game fucked up.
Yeah. So you have the international standard of PISA testing, right? So the PISA survey.
Right.
So Germany, like a couple of years ago, was okay scored. Okay, these scored.
Okay.
But now, so we just plummeted because the survey showed that
whatever that PISA test and survey is, it got to be some racist.
Young people are not able to properly do math or speak or write German, and in some
it ain't got nothing to do with that. They don't have the same mindset.
Some states here in Germany, you have to imagine
people get too influenced by the Native Americans.
They just abolished the writing grades
when we allow this to happen.
In terms,
so that's why we need to take over
to get the language grade, right? So you don't need to write
language grade, right? It ain't got nothing to do about speaking.
Write German properly.
Language is a way. Language is a way of life type shit. So we can all speak the language, but I can speak my language and stuff. We can all speak American and stuff, but the way I speak American may be to my way of life and stuff. It ain't no way I can teach everybody my language and everybody not be on my same
anymore
way of life.
Because our entire educational system has been deteriorating.
Wow.
And that is also the reason, for instance, why young people they vote for us now, because they want to have a proper education and they want to have back a proper educational system that provides the young people with capabilities. And that is also the reason why my personal opinion is that we have to go back to a merit-based system, right? So we need.
Let's look that up. Merit-based system. A merit-based system is a system that uses a person's skill, knowledge, and abilities to determine their rank or reward. You think your ass gonna be in their system without doing their practice? You can hardly do that right now. So this is what they talking about.
Need to go back to a merit-based incentive system and to go away from all this socialist gender things being in our educational system.
Right.
I ain't gonna say it no more.
Families and the parents, they have the responsibility of their children, and the schools and the university, they have the responsibility to give good education, and that not all this vogue socialist nonsensical gender stuff.
Sure. No, absolutely. I mean, the whole point of going to school is to learn.
They don't want y'all to say y'all the best.
And useful skill.
And actually be able to get paid for that without their overseeing
skills that help you in life, help you be productive and understand the world.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not a school. It's just a propaganda institution.
True.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So, let's see. Yeah.
So maybe I can just go on, because I was just giving an example of the educational system.
I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. This is boring. This is boring me and stuff. So let me go get my flame up real quick and shit. I'm getting bored listening to this, but I gotta do this for y'all so y'all can kind of understand the context and understand what the next 4 years is gonna be about when we talk about getting in government and how they viewing y'all as a part of their government. Let me get the beat. Let me go get the beat. Let me go get the beat. Let me I'm gonna play some music and shit like that for y'all real quick. Just a little 15-minute break. You know what I'm saying? You want to go scratch ass? You know you. You know, a little 15-minute. Not even 15 minutes. I ain't gonna be that long. It's gonna be about 3 minutes. I'm gonna run outside and stuff, but we're gonna get back to this conversation because this is gonna be a long conversation. But this is gonna be one that y'all need to one for the books, okay? It's gonna be one for the books so y'all can know what's going on in this presidency. In this presidency. In this presidency, yeah. Little intermission real quick. Little intermission. I'll be back. Get back like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Let me share the screen. All right, let me go grab something out there real quick.
You know, lately it's been some changes, man. Like we all in the star. You know? Yeah, I brought the knowledge down. Walking on the star. Walking on the star. Walking on the star. What's lost but now is found. We like who you are. We like who you are. We like who you are. Hands in the air, you feel this one. Man, I'm fucking on the mill, this run. Brooklyn shit, about to kill it, son. Mommy says she feel it, son. Stay 22 for the willing, son. I'll come down, let some killing, son. I'll come down, let some killing shit. Is he really making sense? This is ready to get it. I'm in, we in, be in, ski trips, vacation. I'm working, you playing, it's urgent. I'm saying I ain't perfect. I'm praying to be fired like air, drip water, and laying. I brought the knowledge down. Walking on the star, walking on the star, walking on the star. What's lost but now is found. We like who you are. We like who you are. We like who you are.
All right, let's get on here. How to go outside? It's cold as hell. It's snowing. It's snowing everywhere too. It's snowing everywhere too. All right, let's get back to this real quick. I just had to go get my situation get straight because that shit was boring. Boring. I don't got boring comment about racism.
Where the
And it's classism, racism.
state fails because our state, the government, collected in the last year a record high of income tax. So they collected like around above 1 trillion, right, of euros. So it is a record high tax.
Wow.
But the state, they cannot handle taxpayers' money. So what do? So they just
y'all own businesses. Y'all
throw the money out of the window for.
Y'all don't know what y'all spending y'all money
for
it ain't know what they own.
For immigration in our social system, for instance. So since 2015,
Y'all doing that though.
Just to give you some numbers.
We all bringing the immigrants. I wish I would never see the nigga pull up with a bunch of Mexicans and stuff like that. I ain't seen that.
Numbers and also the audience to have an idea.
I see the government property with vans and shit. Had people on there.
What's going on here in Germany? So we had an influx of.
So this is them trying to use the native beliefs against y'all themselves.
Of almost,
because the natives was telling them that everybody could be equal and everybody could be free and everybody could, you know what I'm saying, type shit.
7 million people.
And we had that actually going. We had that actually going at a point in time.
7 million people, but these are the officially counted. So
7 million people. Wow. Okay.
7 million people of influx since 2015 officially counted. Wow. And then because the people, they just another funny numbers. Our state.
I mean, that mean whatever Germany was having going on, that influx of people that they had come out there, them people was like people that was getting paid to uphold these new systems and shit like that. So these are the people that had jobs. So they was probably LGBTQ, black, you know what I'm saying? I know it's not like Native American black over there, but it's like Africans over there and shit like that. Arabians, and it was a little bit more freer.
Allows people to throw away their passports
mentally
before they cross our borders that are not protected and controlled. So 57%.
Their borders is their mind and their system.
Almost 60% of the people coming into our country through an open border, they throw away their papers. Why do they do that? Because once entered our country, our funny country, with this funny immigration policy, they cannot anymore. So that's the reason why. So our state, our government, like the Angela Merkel government and the last one, proposed a policy that everyone can choose to cross our border, to immigrate into our social security system, and can.
So they was giving a lot of jobs to y'all for y'all to be within a space where y'all can be socialized as equal.
Cannot be deported afterwards because
and you can't be deported
because they threw away their passports. I mean, crazy. Like, how insane is that?
Well, it is very insane, but that's exactly what's happened in the U.S. I mean, clearly,
I wonder why.
There's a sort of, Elon. I don't know, a sort of far left agenda that's being pushed throughout
far left
Western civilization, any place they can go, because the exact same thing was done in the U.S. where, and now they're sort of calling people illegal immigrants. They call them undocumented, and the reason they're undocumented is because they threw away their passport, just like you're talking about. They in fact, if you
throwing away your passport, meaning
on the Mexican side of the border in the U.S.
You don't have their mind, so you don't want to travel and invade.
There's a giant pile of discarded passports and driver's licenses, like a huge pile.
So think about it. It was 1.9 million people. You think some elite people gonna get on Twitter and tell y'all what they really talk about? And they run stuff like that. Like, come on.
Because it's actually worse to come in with
prove me
passport than to come in with nothing. And then, just like in Germany, the Democratic government then gives massive amounts of money and support to what they call undocumented. But if they're undocumented, we actually have no idea if they are a murderer, rapist. We have no idea because they have no documents, so we can't actually tell. And so, as a result,
I said, they do the actual practice.
There's been a massive influx of criminals into the U.S. Because, and frankly, I'm wondering what's taking criminals so long to come here.
Y'all let them niggas in.
I mean, this is America's a target-rich environment. It's you can in America it's so easy to steal things.
You ain't got that wrong.
in these wealthy neighborhoods. It's like the only thing that is going to slow down how much you can steal is if your back hurts from carrying out all the goods. You know, it's like because you're just like you're not a robber, you're just a moving company. You know, like it seems like all the world's criminals just come to America on that basis, because it's it's much easier to be
like y'all granddaddies and them didn't do
a career criminal in America than it is in.
But when they talk about America, they're talking about what they didn't came over here and created as America.
Other countries where there's not that much to steal. You know, so we've seen a massive increase in crime in the U.S.
Crime is what, like I said, looking at like you getting paid to do what they do, which is run government.
Yeah. Yeah. May I?
So they can look at what I'm doing. That's how they would take it. Like I'm doing a crime for speaking my piece and getting money, but not having, aka my passport, which is one to go and do that elsewhere too.
May I ask a question
Of
on
course,
that?
yeah.
So I read that, for instance, in California, by the way, I'm very sorry what's happening there. It's terrible. It's really terrible to see. Yeah, it's terrible. But
don't give a fuck about that. It's terrible. It's terrible. She knows.
The case of California, that they just lifted the prosecution of theft because you have so many cases of theft. Is it true?
Yes. The de facto situation in California is that theft is almost never prosecuted. It's maybe 1 or 2, maybe 1% of the time is theft prosecuted, and even when it is prosecuted, the criminals are let out on bail immediately. So basically, theft is legal in California. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Now there was recently a referendum in California to make stealing illegal again, which was and actually that was very popular and it passed. Because it was actually literally legal to steal anything under $1,000, which means people could just walk into a store at $1,000 at a time and take out anything they want. And if the storekeeper stopped them, the storekeeper would be arrested. So this is literally like the Joker and Batman. It's like the criminals, are in charge and the honest citizens are arrested. It's just completely insane. Now, like I said, the people in California did
think about this starting point that they're talking about. Them invading, now them doing it to them people doing it to them now.
Vote overwhelmingly to make theft illegal again. But astonishingly, the governor of California, Governor Newsom, he was against the making theft illegal, which doesn't make any sense.
And he just didn't implement it?
Yeah, well, no, but what they're going to do is, even though it is technically illegal again, the sort of far left will refuse to enforce it.
How y'all talking about theft in the first place? Be for real.
So because you really need two things for something to work, for laws to work. You need both the law and you need enforcement of the law. And if you don't have, so I mean, this is something that George Soros really figured out. I mean, he's sort of a brilliant guy, but honestly very anti-human in my opinion. Is that you don't actually need to change the law. You just need to stop enforcement of the law, and that does the trick. So, I think there is somewhat of a reawakening in the U.S.
You don't have to change anything. You just gotta enforce it. So they just talking about racism. Like this is that I'm getting bored.
And I think even in California, people are tired of this, and they won't change. And I think that's really if you say like what people are wondering, like why why did Donald Trump win? And it wasn't just a small victory. In the U.S. elections this year, President Trump won the Electoral College. He also won the popular vote, majority of the people, and the House is Republican and the Senate is Republican. What this says is the American people are demanding change. They're being very clear. And my recommendation:
they people.
They're
the American people. That ain't y'all. They ain't talking about y'all.
People in Germany is to do the same. If you're unhappy with the situation, you must vote for change.
I don't know no Native Americans that feel like when it come down to this shit, they really in some shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
Change, and that
they really a part of those to say so.
That is why I'm really strongly recommending that people vote for AFD. That's my strong recommendation, and I think this is simply the sensible move. And I think Alice Beadle's a very, very reasonable person, and hopefully people can tell just from this conversation, like nothing outrageous is being proposed, just common sense. So in fact, I, as I've said publicly, I think only AFD can save Germany, and I just want to be very clear about that. Only AFD
can serve the Germans and what their ideas of how they wanted to run government. That's really all he's saying. Only this idea, because it's about the idea. Only the idea can save what our forefathers found as what made us in power in that mind state. So only a female or feeling like her, aka feeling like her, can save what they trying to do and stuff. So he kind of letting y'all know what side he on, far as how he think. And for the most part, yeah, I'm being funny here, and I'm calling it racism, and I'm calling it that, but y'all can actually look at, the history and the work and stuff, and look at how it's been going on, far as like different psyops and them evading and gentrifying y'all neighborhoods. Y'all can look at that and what's going on, and making y'all taking over and making it hard for you to do your own thing, making it hard for you to have a business. And then they about to snatch that away. You know what I'm saying? That's what basically he's saying. They're about to find some type of way to snatch that, make that more harder for y'all, make that more complicated for y'all, unless it's filtered through one of their German engines and shit like that. They're German engineers. You know what I'm saying? And which is their mind state of get down and lay down, bitch. Let us take over. Type shit. You feel me? So this is why you gotta go get a job, and when you wake up, you don't feel compelled to get on your 1-2 and put your 1-2 step together. No, you feel compelled to get up and work for these people, and they got good, nice houses. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they got to downsize.
Can save Germany. End of story. And people really need to get behind the AfD, and otherwise things are going to get very, very much worse in Germany.
Yes, because you rightly said, there's a difference of making a law and then enforcing it. So now we have the situation in Germany where you have, on the one hand, you have the AfD.
So that's them wanting to play God. They tell you they want to play God.
And on the other hand, what's so-called uniparties, right?
Yeah.
The uniparty consisting of all the others, because they stick together, and no matter what they say, they're not able to implement, to enforce the promises they're doing in every election, especially the Angela Merkel party. Do you know that the chancellor candidate told
me find that word up.
my running mate of the Christ Democratic Party that it's wrongly labeled, for instance, by The Economist as a center-right party. So in my opinion, it's a leftish green party. But anyway, Angela Merkel was the first green chancellor we had here. So what he did is that he, by the way, just talking about interference. So I just look it up here. He called your interests, so your interests in German politics, pushy and presumptuous.
Yeah.
And
what did you say about George Soros?
yeah, exactly. And Bill Gates.
Yeah, Bill Gates, exactly.
That was not a problem.
Yeah.
When Bill Gates actually tried to sell his mRNA vaccination and not mentioning all the huge side effects on people's health, and no one takes responsibility about that.
Yeah, y'all been doing that since y'all been doing that to the Native Americans. Yeah, get this job and get this. Don't worry about that. And get this contract and get this. And don't worry about that. And get.
And the entire bluff. And
so that's what I'm saying. I need my strong spirits because we got to get our Jupiter shit straight. We got to go to Jupiter. They on here. This is real life. Don't think, nigga. Put your feet on two ground. They on here talking about going to Mars right now. Nigga, you need to be thinking about going to Jupiter. Real shit. My walls real. My ass real. My head is real. And I'm listening to a person that's in government talking about going to Mars.
Scam of wearing a mask, right? So it's unbelievable. And also that candidate of the Christ Democrats, like Friedrich Merz, he warned the world about the consequences of voting for Donald Trump in October last year.
Right.
So far for like foreign interferences, right?
Exactly.
So it's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable, like how Donald Trump was treated by German media and German politicians during his election campaign.
They downsizing. They getting rid of all the minds that ain't with it. Y'all gotta see it. They getting rid of it.
Unbelievable. And I mentioned that before in a Bloomberg interview. It created physical pain to see that, how he was disparaged, like, and his entire family. So so I feel very sorry for these people. Just like saying negative things, and now
is y'all just mad because y'all don't got attention no more? That niggas can get on here rap, niggas can get on here talk, and gain an audience. Is that what it is? Is it that? Oh, you truly don't know what you're doing. You're true. How about leave me alone?
While we talk, 150 bureaucrats of the European Union are watching us, our conversation, to enforce this ridiculous Digital Services Act that is nothing else than a censorship on free speech. Free speech, right?
Yes.
And you said it, free speech is a precondition of democracy.
Yeah.
If you are not able to form a proper opinion and exchange opinions and ideas, and a democracy should be a competition of the best ideas, right?
Absolutely.
And compromises.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. Without freedom of speech, people are obviously not able to say what they want to say.
Freedom of speech in their infrastructure, within their star, within their system. What are you free to say? You can be free to say anything and stuff. That don't mean it's gonna be funded by them or whatever. So that really don't mean nothing.
And then they cannot make an informed vote. So if people are essentially fed propaganda and have no access to what's really going on, then they can't make an informed vote, and then you don't have a real democracy. So that's why I say, free speech is the bedrock of democracy.
And Native Americans is the bedrock of the bedrock. You feel me? The real shit. We created the democracy. Go look it up. Iroquois team.
There must be free speech in order for people to make an informed vote. So that's essential. And you can sort of, it's actually quite easy to tell who the bad guys are. It's like, who wants to shut down freedom of speech? They are the bad guys. It's very clear.
Yes. And do you know what?
But it's like, why you gotta give it to us? It's like, ain't that natural? It's like, what is this all giving it to us? Like, but I get it because it's the psyops of what y'all create around it, like people just saying crazy shit and racist shit and stuff, all of that. So I guess you got to give it to us now or something like that. That don't make no sense.
What Adolf Hitler did, the first thing, he switched off free speech.
Yes.
So he controlled the media, and without that, he would have never been successful.
Yes, exactly.
Never been successful.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
this is what you do.
Yeah, no, exactly. That was one of the first things he did was to control the media and
They play a reverse psychology now.
imposed extreme censorship. And what he was trying to do was shut down any pro-Semitic media, anything pro-Semitic.
They trying to act like they ain't with it.
Or any defense of the Jewish people was shut down. So we have, like, very few.
Look, prove me wrong.
For those who want censorship, they should. I think.
You know what I'm saying, prove me wrong. Talk to me in a way where you get on here and respond to me non-sarcastic, Elon.
They should be careful what they ask for, because once you institute censorship, it's only a matter of time.
Show ass on YouTube, Elon.
And before that censorship is turned on you, and eventually they will censor you, and that's the danger. Because people love to censor things they don't agree with.
It's just a way to slowly bring in where they could start saying more racism, so they don't want to be censored. So they like that part. They get to say what they want to say, but let your ass go on Twitter right now. You're gonna see a bunch of stuff, degrading, negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? About the NIGGs, and soon as you see something about some anti-Semitism or something like that, everybody they bank defunded. Shout out to Kanye.
But they don't realize.
Shout out to Kanye.
That censorship is going to be turned on them. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, you mentioned.
They like that part.
Of course.
We get to talk our shit.
Hitler and whatnot. Now, there's a lot of the media wants to portray AfD as far right, as somehow associated with Nazism or something like that. Perhaps you could address that concern, because people, when they hear sort of right wing in Germany, they naturally have a bit of a negative reaction.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you for the question. First of all, I would like to, since I'm a economist, I would like to shed some light on the idea, when we talk about Hitler, on the idea of the National Socialists. Back then, during the Third Reich, the National Socialists, as the word says, they were socialists.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
They nationalized industries like crazy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He was a communist, and he considered himself as a socialist. So what they did, they
I'm sorry, y'all got to go through this, but I'm sorry, but this is what they're talking about. This is real life.
They
I'm sorry.
They state funded then the private companies, and then they asked for taxes, huge taxes, and then also wait a second, I need to ask the word now. Verstaatlichen. Yeah, nationalize the entire industry. You said that before, and the biggest success after that terrible era in our history was to label Adolf Hitler as right and conservative. He was exactly the opposite. He wasn't a conservative. He was
I don't want to hear this.
on the US in the
Let me get to
slightly above 1%.
because they ain't talking
So
about shit. Y'all get the concept. By the way.
the more I read about the Middle East and the situation,
Okay, they talking about Ukraine.
they let do the geographic situation there. And when you
We don't
see
get talking about
the
we're
Gaza
talking
Strip,
about Mars.
But if we are a multi-planet species
Yeah, let's get
on
it.
scope of consciousness,
All right, so you don't get it. Now we
topics
about
we
to
should
get into
discuss,
the
or
beliefs.
if you have any questions for me or anything you think
yes,
people might want to
yes,
know
absolutely.
about. Sure.
Because I want to ask, and many people are interested in that. So why do you believe that flying to Mars and populating Mars is your top priority topic, the SpaceX? And when do you think, when will you be ready to have a human expedition to?
All right, so now we're about to get into the thick of it. So Mars represents whatever this new idea that they're trying to have about their worldview be born. Mars represents birth and stuff like that. So y'all think they talking about actually going to Mars, which they are, but behind closed doors, when they talking about going to Mars and do the practice of it so they can kind of siphon y'all energy and give that grace so they can actually manifest that to come down here. I'm telling you, this is what they be into. So yeah, but so let's listen.
To Mars. If you allow, if I may ask this question, because everyone is interested. So these are great projects, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think at a very high level, I think sort of like what set of actions are going to lead to the long-term prosperity of civilization.
They're talking about their concept, their idea.
The sort of a growth in the scale and scope of consciousness.
So this is when they about to get into his beliefs and stuff. So when he say the scope of consciousness, the more they can be more consciously aware of that idea that they got, as far as them being this type of civilization, this is what they mean by going to Mars. Now they might shoot a bunch of y'all ass up there and stuff like that, but you better believe.
To the best of our knowledge,
they trying to, and this is a whole new civilization that they're trying to create. This is a whole new, like I'm talking about, where they're trying to make a new race and actually kind of in the future be able to teach y'all like something came down here from outer space or something like that. some new type of people, and they actually got that type of power wherever they shape that to be. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta be careful. This how
we are the only place with life, or certainly the only place with life that is intelligent in some form. A lot of people think, oh, there must be aliens, but I've not seen any evidence of aliens. If the archaeological,
but guess what? If he do find it, he gonna be the first one to announce it.
Records are correct.
It's gonna be through his SpaceX.
Earth is 1/2 billion.
So he just basically took that narrative over, based upon him just being in government right now and also being Elon Musk.
Years old, but civilization, as measured from the first writing, is only about 5,000 years old, which is about one.
Listen to what he said right here.
Priority topic, because everyone.
I've not billion years old. I've not seen any evidence of aliens. If the archaeological records are correct, Earth is 1/2 billion years old, but civilization, as measured from the first writing, is only about 5,000 years old.
So he's saying when they created civilization based upon their concept, this is when they was born. 5,000 years ago, that them as a group of men came together to say, hey, let's take over.
Which is about 1/1,000,000th of Earth's existence. So all of human civilization is a tiny flash in the pan so far.
And they want to take that further.
And so we have to say, well, what steps can we take to ensure the long-term survival of
they white man thought
of life as we know it, of consciousness.
Consciously aware, white light, white man thought.
And if we are a multi-planet species, the probable lifespan of consciousness is dramatically greater than if we are a single planet species.
AKA if they multi-planet. So a planet is just a wheel and stuff. So this is when they get into the concept of them questioning if they're actually from this planet or not. Because they got this concept 5,000 years ago that created civilization. So now them trying to go out, whatever, is them trying to claim that they are a different type of being. And they practice this through wealth cutoff and shit like that, them having more access. But there's just some getting some lost into some desire shit. It ain't nothing special.
This is not to say that I think that there's that
They're getting lost into their own ego about some stuff and ain't got nothing to do with God and actually helping people mind. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I ain't learned nothing from that, but how to be, exiled because Native American history.
Earth is about to die or anything like that, but there is some risk. If there is a global thermonuclear war or some extreme natural event like a giant, meteor that hits the Earth that causes a mass extinction event. I mean, if we look at the fossil record,
there's gonna be paranoid about y'all coming out with the truth or something like that about that shit.
There are at least 5 extreme mass extinction events that would have just
whatever tried to stop their government. 5 mass extinction events.
Basically, extinction events that would have destroyed all of humanity completely. There's 5 of them at least, and
which is the stuff they created, the Civil War, all the wars they created. That's not that you talking about.
So I think if we should take this opportunity today,
because just the 5 places they invaded.
For the first time in the 4.5 billion year history of Earth, it is possible to extend life and to extend consciousness beyond Earth, and that window of opportunity may be open for it.
So this is them getting into some narcissism now. So this is them thinking that, hey, we can extend our consciousness in a way where we think we different type of people, and we got to start bringing that thought down here and start saying, hey, we some space type of being, and we can do this, and we can feel justified for whatever sick shit they got going on or something like that. It's weird.
For a short time, or it may be open for a long time, but just in case it is open for a short time, we must take advantage of this window and as quickly as possible become a multi-planet species and ensure the long-term survival of civilization.
That's how they think, y'all. They want to become spacemen.
So what is your time frame for a expedition, like for the first human expedition?
Well, yeah. So to be clear, what matters is not so much
humans expedition. That's kind of like this. What I was showing y'all with this. They did this here. Like when they presented this, they was like this a thing of the future, and Native Americans was a thing of the past. Now it's on another level. Anybody with the Native American mind is the thing of the past. So this is them trying to create their one race, their starship race. Get y'all being here.
The sort of flags and footprints, but the establishment of a self-sustaining city on Mars, where the critical threshold is where the city
self-sustaining city on Mars. That's just basically this new world being sustained that they're trying to do.
Can grow independent of Earth, meaning if the resupply ships from Earth stop coming for any reason, that the Mars colony does not die out.
Their intellectual property of them taking over shit. They hope it don't die out.
That's if we are able to reach that point,
from
then
this new perspective.
we have passed one of the very important and fundamental Fermi great filters.
That's why y'all think he's smart, because y'all don't know what he's saying. People just automatically think people smart. They because they don't know what they mean, and they get a lot of attention. Oh my goodness! You see how celebrities is created?
There's this idea of like, well, why don't we see evidence of intelligent life? Well, there's this idea that there are these various great filters that these civilizations never pass, and one of those great filters is never going beyond you.
They trying to wipe y'all out and create some new shit. I'm telling you, where it's like the kids, y'all kids gonna be born up under thinking they on a planet and it's holy beings here. They going hard.
Species. And to be clear, if we are,
this is a crazy concept, and this what y'all be praising.
A single planet species.
Prove it ain't.
It is just a matter of time before we are annihilated. One can argue about how long.
So unless we make people believe this and get this new concept up, it's only gonna be a matter of time before niggas start thinking they can be we human. You know what I'm saying? We human. So we need to get people out of that concept and get them into some order.
It will take, but eventually there will be something that happens that annihilates civilization.
In our concept.
It might be very far in the future, but we simply know from the fossil record, as I mentioned, that there have been at least 5 mass natural extinction events. And I think there's added risk for humans that we could destroy ourselves. Because the dinosaurs did not have thermonuclear weapons. So
Native Americans, they didn't have nuclear weapons. They dealt with natural shit.
They also didn't have spaceships. So we've got
we got spaceships, but not them type. Mental pilots. Shout out to flights.
We've got the risk of thermonuclear war that could destroy everyone, but we also have spaceships that can make life multiplanetary. And but to answer your question more directly, I think we can send uncrewed starships to Mars in approximately 2 years. So Earth and Mars are to be.
So every 2 years, get ready for some event to happen.
Earth and Mars align for planetary transfer roughly
every 6 months.
What you're gonna start to see this concept drop every 2 years. So new technology, new shit to get y'all into certain principles, new shit to make y'all, new psyops to make y'all more broke and them more rich. You know what I'm saying? New psyops to slowly get rid of y'all and get y'all kids in these new systems so they can make them think they're in a robot world with AI and shit like that. This is how they do it.
Every 2 years, every 26
2 years. 2 years.
Yes. So
it's the government.
Earth obviously takes a year to go around the sun. Mars takes approximately 2 years. And obviously one cannot go to Mars when it is on the other side of the sun from Earth.
Yeah.
So we have to wait for when Mars is in roughly the same quadrant of the solar system as Earth. And that occurs for about 6 months every 2 years. And the optimal transfer window is typically just a few months. So for a few months every 2 years or every 26 months, you can transfer to Mars. So there's currently a Mars transfer window, which means that the next one is in 2 years from now.
So in 2 years, get ready. Trump 2028. Oh shit! Ain't that what this say right here? 2026, 2020. Oh shit! It's trending, y'all. No cap. Get ready for a big shift in 2028.
And then there'll be another one 2 years after that. So for the one in 2 years, I think we can send uncrewed starships to Mars to test that the landing systems are working properly.
That we can make us working properly.
We want to make sure that we don't, add more craters to Mars.
Craters to our plans.
Yeah.
Because she talking like she laughing like she been to Mars or something. Yeah, it's so many craters on Mars, but you know what he talking about. That's why you laughing like that. Gotcha, bitch.
The crater count increment must be 0, and once we prove that it is safe to land, then if all the ships we send in about 2 years land safely, and we think we understand the issues, then in principle, that in about 4 years you could send the first people, and then
Wow.
the number of ships can expand exponentially from that point. I mean, as a rough order of magnitude, my guess is that we need to transport about a million tons of cargo to Mars to make it self-sustaining. When things are very uncertain, I think if you can even guess to within 1 order of magnitude, you're doing quite well.
They need to make it weight more. They need to make it mean more and stuff.
So I suspect probably 100,000 tons is maybe not enough, and hopefully we don't need 10 million tons. So therefore,
he's talking about the people that's on that actual process that get it running. So they need 10 million people really invested in this for real.
1 million tons is enough to make Mars self-sustaining. So maybe it's a million tons of cargo to the surface of Mars and about 1 million people or more. So that's really what matters. The critical threshold from the standpoint of a fundamental branching of the future of civilization is that point of reaching on Mars where Mars can grow by itself, even if resupply ships from Earth stop coming. At that point, the future of civilization branches, and to a good branch. And the probable.
So this is how many slaves they need to convert to Mars. This new concept of the world, this conservative view, type shit.
Lifespan of civilization is dramatically greater. And
Yes.
my guess is that there will be cases where the future Martians actually come and help and rescue.
They really
us,
got the game
when there is an emergency.
All right, you hear this? So
we simply know from the fossil record, as I mentioned, that there have been at least 5 massive natural extinction events, and I think there's added risk for humans that we could destroy ourselves, because the dinosaurs did not have. There will be cases where the future Martians actually come and help and rescue Earth, and when there is an emergency.
People born up under that concept, the future Martians, y'all kids, and this is how they control governments and know what spirits they bring in here. You know what I'm saying? So this is actually it. So you hearing it right now. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to feel a little exposed. Better said than done. So I'm a tiptoe. Just know the vibe came before the zip code. You feel me? So let's go back a little bit. So he's talking about getting to Mars.
And that occurs.
I'm telling you, this whole thing is an allegory. And me and my Cito tribe, we going to Jupiter.
For about 6 months every 2 years. And the optimal transfer window is typically just a few months. So for a few months every 2 years, or every 26 months, you can transfer to Mars. So there's currently a Mars transfer window, which means that the next one is in 2 years from now. And then there'll be another one 2 years after that. So for the 1 in 2 years, I think we can send uncrewed starships to land on Mars to test that the landing systems are working properly. We want to make sure that we don't, add more craters to Mars.
Okay. So.
The crater count increment must be 0, and so once we prove that it is safe to land, then if all the ships we send in about 2 years land safe, and we think we understand the issues, then
2028 is crazy.
In about 4 years, you could send the first people.
In about 4 years, we're gonna see the first.
And
people.
Wow.
The number.
The people is y'all the people. So You're gonna see the first slaves, the little people.
Ships can expand exponentially from that point.
Mhm.
I mean, as a rough order of magnitude, my guess is that we need to transport about a million tons
Look how many views
of
this got.
cargo to
And people think
Mars
this
to
is
make
like
it self-sustaining. When things are very uncertain, I think if you can even guess to within one order of magnitude, you're doing quite well. So I suspect probably 100,000 tons is maybe not enough, and hopefully we don't need 10 million tons. So therefore, my guess is hopefully 1 million tons is enough to make Mars self-sustaining. So maybe it's a million tons of cargo to the surface of Mars and about
They
a
talk
million
about people,
people
y'all,
or more.
to help their plan.
So that's really what matters. The critical threshold
crazy.
from the standpoint of a fundamental branching of the future of civilization is that point of reaching on Mars where Mars can grow by itself, even if resupply ships from Earth stop coming. At that point, the future of civilization branches, and to a good branch. And the probable lifespan of civilization is dramatically greater. And
Yes.
my guess is that there will be cases where
this is real talks about how they're going to keep government running. That's what you're hearing. Not about Mars or not about. They're talking about how far they can take government and refresh government.
the future Mars.
They putting it out here for y'all can hear. They ain't tell me not to gain a brain so I can interpret what they. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never got told that. I was told to use my brain. So that's what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they putting it out here. Shit.
Actually come and help and rescue Earth, and when there is an emergency. Just as America has helped to.
So he said the kids can come and rescue us when it's an emergency. Just like
To
America
rescue the rest of the world in World War II.
So that was another baby of theirs. America helped them get more money and make their shit go longer. The invasion of America. They invaded, before that, they invaded the more eastern countries, China, Africa, whatever. America helped them. That was one of their children. So that's what they consider one of their children and whatever. So they're trying to make this go further.
1 and 2 and the Cold War. And where would the world be if not for America helping out in those 3 circumstances? So I think that there's a good chance Mars helps save Earth at some point in the future, maybe many times. And then
their principle help save Earth and civilization from their perspective.
Once we have a civilization on Mars, we can expand to the rest of the solar system to the
this is when they get y'all an AI world and shit. This is when they want to get y'all
larger asteroids like Ceres, maybe to the moons of Jupiter and Saturn and beyond, at least through the rest of the solar system. And then then we go from being hopefully a multi-planet civilization to at some point multi-stellar civilization, and we're out there among the stars, and then we can try to find out what is
That's them trying to keep a principle as long as possible so they can kind of know, because we consider the natives was teaching them, we consider the stars and shit like as our ancestors and our teachers and shit like that, and they passed on, and based upon them influence they leave and shit like that, we learn that. So they're trying to do that in real time and like become that down here type shit. But they need y'all to do it, but it's like y'all don't understand their ways. The natives didn't like their ways because they was just going too extreme. We felt like even what they were doing with their slaves and how they was killing people and all of that type shit. So you know what I'm saying?
The nature of the universe, perhaps when we go to and visit these faraway star systems, we will discover the remains of long dead alien civilizations. I think that would be incredibly interesting. For sure.
This is their concept. We would discover they're trying to go to the space mentally that the ancestors was in in creating civilization so they can be the god of civilization, basically. And that god of civilization that they working with is just gonna be their new way of seeing themselves through the government. So it's gonna get passed down through a lot of some type of mystic star people. They gonna start getting real cocky on y'all. Like they already do it in little snarky ways and business ways where it's like they'll fuck with you, but it's like they kind of like sarcastic. You know what I'm saying? It's like, good job, buddy. You know what I'm saying? It's like that.
That will greatly improve our understanding of the nature of the universe. Dramatically.
Absolutely. Yes.
So and things like the time scales are just remarkable to think about. I mean, physics.
So and it's all about adrenaline. So a lot of these practices they was doing when they was getting into these spaces of just, you know, I guess it's just like when they say when you kill a man, like you kind of see some of the stuff of God, like you kind of experience some of those energies and stuff. That's their concept. So them doing that on mass scales and stuff like that and creating a civilization where it's governed there, this is how they bring spirits here, because we all come through what we resonate with. So if you don't resonate with their government, you're not going to be born under one of their parents. You're not going to have them thoughts and feelings to attract you to an individual that you can filter through for your spirit to come back down here. And I may come down here if you like native through some native people or some black people, because a lot of y'all mixed and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? May come through Mexicans, depending on what you had on your mind your last lifetimes. You get what I'm saying? Now they're trying to do some shit. They're trying to do some shit where they're controlling that. You know what I'm saying? They feel the need to control that because they think it's being in the seat of God, and it's what gay. It's not no spookism like the natives or whatever. That's how they think about it. Like it's almost like a person that don't want to work, that just believing online don't help them or something like that all day. You know what I'm saying? That's what they created for y'all to be in. But you really actually gotta be in the world and doing shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't fuck with that shit. You know what I'm saying? They want y'all to be able to be building with them and come to Mars with them. But we going to Jupiter.
That suggests that the universe is about 13.8 billion years old. I mean, even
so the way they do it is control history, and then now they trying to control the future.
The elements in our body.
They control the history, but now they trying to control the future and whatever, and how y'all see the future.
That aren't hydrogen. That like any heavier elements had to be formed in the center of a star, and so
a star is a government. A star is a government. Look, let me show you. I'm telling you, these is they sites. They don't be lying to you. Y'all just don't be knowing. What that say? Capital. Celebrated. Chief. Somebody leaving. So when he say the body was formed through a star, he's saying the birth of civilization was formed through somebody creating order. So listen to how they think.
There is maybe to the moons of Jupiter and Saturn and beyond, at least through the